Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen James, the channel that brings you your Rangers news every single day, guys. So, look, we reported yesterday about Patrick Stewart, the new CEO of Rangers, questioning the SFA about the non-awarding of a penalty to Rangers in the Premier Sports Cup final at the weekend. We've heard all from our rivals, shall we say, on the other side of the city, telling us that it wasn't a penalty because it was a foul outside the box, etc., etc., as they continue to demonstrate that as Celtic fans, they have zero understanding of the rules, as has been explained now by multiple referees and multiple ex-referees, including Bobby Madden, Dermot Gallagher, can't remember the other guy's name now, Roach, was it, or something like that, all saying that, it's not about where the foul starts, it's about where the foul ends. And when the shirt pull is in progress, if the shirt pull ends with the player in the box, it is a penalty kick. We know that obviously Celtic fans think they know better. We know that Celtic fans know nothing, as per usual. But it now emerges that Rangers were correct in their assertion that it should have been a penalty. Obviously, Philippe Clement was very angry after the game and asked journalists to dig deeper into this non-referral to VAR. This then obviously came with the top of Patrick Stewart asking the SFA for an explanation as to why it was not a penalty kick. It now emerges that it should have been a penalty. Not that that's any consolation, obviously, because the game is done and dusted. It's not like we can get the cut back. It's not like the game will be replayed. We know that. I genuinely don't know what consolation this genuinely is, but it's a story nonetheless, isn't it? Head of the Scottish referees, Willie Collum, no matter what you think of him, or you think he's good at his job or fairly awful at his job, has now come out and stated that it should have been a penalty to Rangers, and the VAR officials got it wrong, and they should have referred John Beaton to the monitor, or at least told John Beaton that it was a penalty kick. Now, this obviously comes as no surprise to most Rangers fans, as we all knew it was a penalty, like I said, because multiple independent referees have all said it was a penalty, despite the fact the green and grey side of the city tried to assert that it wasn't, because as we know, they don't know anything about football. But look, it's a penalty kick, and it's an absolute travesty that nothing obviously can happen, that nothing will be done about this. However, this weekend, although John Beaton has been given a game this weekend, the two bumbling VAR officials of Francis O'Connor and Alan Muir have both not been given any game, and both have been stood down for this weekend's fixtures. I think, it's the right move. Obviously, people deserve to, if they make a mistake, deserve to be punished for that mistake, especially if it is a fundamental mistake. Now, I know in life we all make mistakes, the seriousness of the mistake is obviously, tells you what the punishment should be for that. Now, I believe that obviously the standing down of Muir and O'Connor for this weekend's games is the right thing to do by the SFA. Bloody hell, praising the SFA. I can't believe it. But by that same token, I think there needs to be a wider kind of, punishment for both of these. And as Heart and Hand have said on Twitter, just a few moments ago, this needs to be the end now for O'Connor and Muir, as both have proved they cannot be impartial. Now, whether that be that neither of them are allowed to be involved in Rangers Celtic games in the future or in Rangers games, or whether this is the end for them as match officials, that they're told basically that they have no future in the game, that they do not have a part to play, and both are permanently sacked for gross incompetence. I think that'll probably be the best thing to happen. Like I said, Willie Collum has, like I said, it's been reported now by STV, Daily Record, a number of sources that STV were the first ones to break this story, that the head of refereeing operation, Willie Collum, has told Rangers it was a mistake. There we go. Scottish FA Chief Executive Maxwell gave his view. He said there's been a dialogue with Rangers. There's dialogue with every club in the country on a Monday morning. And as you can imagine, Willie Collum's phone is fairly busy. It's proper that we do, and there needs to be engagement. We're fortunate that since Willie had came in, and we've got the VAR review show that's being filmed at the moment. We've got the key match incident panel. They'll announce their view later this week. I'm sure the VAR review show will have an interesting spike in viewing figures that will give everyone an understanding of the review of recent incidences, and I'm sure that this will be one of them. Asked what he said, what he thought about people who've lost faith in VAR. Maxwell said, "It's interesting that this is the first time I've been asked about VAR this season, so there's definitely been an improvement. We're being as transparent as we can do, and more transparent than we've been in the terms of decisions being made and how they're made. That's helped people understand the narrative. It's not losing faith in VAR. There will be decisions across the season for every club that go for and against them. It will always be part of football, and that will never change." I mean, as much as I don't like to agree with the SFA, I do agree with that last statement. In football, there are decisions that go for and against you. Even with VAR, there is no perfect system. We were told, of course, that VAR was supposed to eliminate that. It hasn't. But the issue, I think, is, and it always will be, that when something is down to humans, there is always an element of human error. If this decision had been left purely to an AI computer to make the decision, then obviously I don't think there would have been any mistake whatsoever. Computer programs, algorithms, AIs are not capable of making those said mistakes because they don't display bias, for example, or incompetence. But look, at the end of the day, yes, there will be a very big spike in figures for this program when it comes out on YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. It is the VAR review show with Willie Collum and his guests and his panel or whatever, his cronies. But it'll be interesting to hear their actual explanation of the incident because, like I said, it's absolutely shocking that this has now come out that they did get it wrong. They were wholly wrong. I mean, what I would actually genuinely like to hear is, number one, I would like to hear the audio of that discussion. And secondly, I would actually like to hear somebody challenge Muir and O'Connor and say, why did you not think that this should have been referred to the referee? Why did you not think this was a clear and obvious error? I think one of the things for me that needs to come into football is an accountability by the officials, because at the moment officials are ultimately unaccountable for every decision they make. Whereas players and managers are held to account after every single game in press conferences and so on and so forth. I believe also that officials should be held to account for said decisions and questioned about those decisions by members of the media. Well, let me know what you think of this story, guys, now that we know that it should have definitely, we knew it was a penalty, but we've now got official confirmation. It just remains to be seen what A, Rangers will do about it, and B, what the SFA will do about it. Rangers must, I believe, take a strong stance against this and really demand action from the SFA and show that we are no longer going to be just a pansy to the SFA, and we are not going to just try and do the old, let's maintain a diplomatic silence and keep the moral high ground, because that clearly doesn't work. Thanks for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation, guys. As always, please smash the like, sub to the channel on the way out. Thanks for watching. We are the people.